It being April 6th, 2022, 3:30 p.m., and recognizing a quorum, I call a regular meeting of the Wareham Board of Commissioners to order. Yes, roll call: Bill Lockwood present, Gene Connaughton present, Ted Hatch present, Bob Powell present, Donna Bronk on her way. Any resident participation? Seeing none, I gotta get that lady to come over, the nice lady. Okay, so. Oh, yeah, it doesn't see, okay, open the pledge of allegiance, okay, I call everyone to silence all your electronic devices and stand for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay. Attached is the regular meeting of the minutes of the previous meeting, which I think was sent to everybody, so after you have a chance to familiarize yourself, I'll look for a motion to approve the minutes as printed.
Chair, before we continue, could I just have, Jackie, could I ask one favor there? When you are emailing the attachments, if you could number those pages when they come out, so when they get printed,
Sure.
it's easy for us to keep in sequence and we can all be on the same page if the papers get all jumbled up somewhere, then we can say on page 27 is where we were. Have you got that paper? I'm not sure what page we're on.
Okay, no problem. We'll do it.
Just to
We'll
help
do
for
it.
that.
Yep.
My machine won't print that much paper.
All right.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right.
Okay, I'll make, oh, you gonna make a motion?
No, I'm just looking for it.
Oh,
It's
okay.
page 2,
It's page 2?
page 2.
Should have been.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Well, we don't understand.
Give Bill a
Page 2
chance.
from the very
Fine.
beginning. The
Right
first one
after
was
the-
the agenda,
right on-
and then
right
the
on
board
the
meeting
agenda.
minutes.
Is this it? No. Yeah, right there.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we'll give you a chance to glance at it.
Well, Bill's looking at that. I don't know if we should add on the present fee account next to Tom Joy's name, or if that's
Oh, yeah.
necessary, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
fee accountant, Tom.
Yeah.
And then as I was reviewing on the annual on the new business on item A, I think that's an acronym, maybe that could be all capitalized.
Where are you?
The A-
New business,
It's missing in
On
it.
the minutes,
Yeah.
okay.
ANUEL, yep, it's an acronym, so
Capital
capitalized.
ANUEL.
And if we could just put the adjourn time at the end would help, I think.
Which stands for what? Annual non-utility
Expense.
expense line item. Annual.
Okay.
Okay, so,
And just if we could insert the adjourn time of the meeting, I think probably a good thing for everybody.
okay.
That's my only comment. Other than that, we'd cut them.
Okay, so those would be considered edits, amendments. All right, motion by Gene, seconded by Ted, with corrections. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, unanimous, 400. Is that how
Yep.
4000401.
for right now? It'll be 40.
If she comes
If
next
she- Right
meeting.
now, she's
Okay.
not here, so it's 40.
Okay, 404. Okay.
And she couldn't have voted on it anyway.
Oh, she wasn't here, that's correct,
Oh,
yeah.
that's right, you're right.
Good point, Bill.
Okay. Okay, so the next item on the agenda is to ratify and approve the warrants, checks, and documents that have adequate supporting documentation and approved by the administrator, and they're right here in front of me for signature. I'll pass them around later, or do you want to pass them now while you're doing stuff?
Probably better at the end, I would say, so we can pay attention to the meeting.
Okay, so do I have a motion on those, subject to
So moved.
I'll second.
motion by Bill, seconded by Gene. Any further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, 4-0. Okay. Next, if there's a chairman's report, I'll save it for the end.
Okay, all right.
Okay, next on the agenda is the administrator's report.
As you can tell, we've been very busy. We have 6 vacancies coming forward. We then had an additional 6 vacancies, and then we rented 6 units, and we still have 6 empty units. So, but we are getting ready to fill one within a couple of days, but, so we'll have 5 by the end of April.
Do we have tenants all vetted to move in as soon as the next ones are ready?
The next 2 are vetted.
Okay.
I'm working on the rest.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And, well, those vacant units, I just said, on F12 and G14, 5 months still out?
Yes, the reason why that happened is those are units that are more constructive, they have a lot of work to be done in them.
Okay.
The other 2 were units we turned over, and we just thought it would be great if we could just get those others done
Terrific.
quickly, get them filled,
Yeah.
and then go back and work on them in between. So G14 is done almost,
Okay.
and then they're doing F12 next at the same time.
Is it a lot of construction in there that we're missing, or is it
Well,
maybe materials?
it's flooring old flooring that is glued to the floor, so it takes them a while. This was during the end of our snow season, like G14 is just about done, but it needed more work, more
Okay.
flooring, painting, more patching of the walls, more than 2 coats of paint. It's bends. It's on the ceiling, it's scrubbing the walls
Bathroom and
first.
tile and painting the top or whatever we gotta do and all that kind of stuff?
Everything,
Okay.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
what you're saying is the conditions of those units are in such bad state as compared to others that they take longer to
Thank
turn
you.
Yeah, I
turn
gotcha.
over.
That's better
Yep.
put.
Yeah.
than what-
Okay. Just and I know we have limited resources to get them turned over, but I did a little quick math here, and if we took all the documentation that you've got here for these dates, vacant and filled and all that, and add up the number of days, months and so forth, it's like 16 grand that we're out of rent there. It's a
Correct.
lot of money.
How many days?
We had,
did you get?
I did months actually, I did 26 months first, and then I added the 5, 10, 12, 13, 14 months for those other ones, and it comes out to 16 grand at the rate of
Yeah, but you
13.40 per
had
day.
the number of months together, the
Yes,
2 groups, how
I
much?
did, yeah.
You didn't say it though. You
The
just-
number of months total?
Yeah.
I had 26 and 12, 38,
38 months
Yeah.
between is
Right,
the
so that's-
vacancy time.
yeah.
Okay, the reason I ask is because when we get to the sewer commission thing, if we get 38 months, that's 12, that's
That's
3
3
years. We could ask for a break on the EDUs or whatever it is and say we
From
got
the sewer.
3 vacant units for, so we-
Or that probably translates into a percentage on an annual basis of
Yes,
92% or 87%, whatever it
Good
is.
idea, Bill, yeah.
Which is probably a little easier way to state it than.
yeah,
Mhm.
okay, so we'll make that argument when we.
For the sewer commission,
Reduce
right.
the,
Yeah.
reduce
So consistently, if
EDUs.
Bill's comment is correct, then if our bill is $10,000 at 92 or whatever the percentage comes out consistently, maybe they can adjust our bill on an annual basis to reflect that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
again, we're always worried about our expenses, so.
If you take it as a percentage of the whole, yeah.
Right.
And we ought to be
Either
able
way.
to present them with a historic.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you've got a historic rate,
Yeah.
no vacancy chart.
Take a look.
Oh, yeah, we can
But you gotta
create
Take a
it.
few hours
Right.
to generate.
It's in every
Yeah,
package.
We
Right,
can create it, because we got this record on the front page of every
yeah,
administrator's report.
Right.
absolutely.
Okay,
That's an easy bill to figure out,
yeah,
yeah.
Okay, good.
So we have a total of 3,384 applications in our CHAMP.
Mhm.
And they now have, previous week estimated, because we no longer hold the physical applications on the resident and non-resident number. So now there is a list that we can generate of resident, non-resident. applications from CHAMP, so this is where the number increased, tremendously. And that's for all our programs. So
Mhm.
767 Wareham residents looking for a place to live.
Jackie, is that total 3384, is that down from what it was a couple of years ago? Wasn't it much higher?
No.
I thought it was up about 4 or 5, no?
No,
No.
it was more like the 767, if I recall.
Yeah, it was really small, it was like,
For the
I mean,
artists?
total, I think the highest was 1,500. But now with CHAMP, and the way the rules are, we get applicants from
Right.
all over. And I mean, all over the United States, and,
Yeah, because anybody can go on that site, whether they're in California or
Yep.
or Boston.
Alabama,
Right.
Arkansas, Tennessee, North Carolina, Virginia, Arkansas, Louisiana, I was like, wow.
So how does that help us?
And they're coming
Well,
across the
it-
border this
Help
week.
It doesn't,
Doesn't help us.
no, it
Yeah.
helps the state.
Everybody took care of their own.
Right.
Why can't you just take care of your own,
Yeah.
instead of these people moving around? You live in Boston, apply in
Well,
Boston.
These
Right.
people are already on this side of the border.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, but it's just to add more.
Yeah, so we've had, during this time period, 154 completed work orders, and that includes everything. So we put all of our preventative maintenance in the work orders. We put any issues that maintenance needs to attend to that may not be directly related to a unit.
Okay,
Because-
such as this tree limb out here I just looked at.
Right, well,
Is there a work order on that, just for example?
yeah, well,
Okay.
they are, yes.
Okay,
We have work orders for that.
but that's a
yes.
good example, yeah.
That is a good, yes. Okay, so on the page 2 of the administrative report, we need okay, so the administrative report is then the AR report, and then the fourth page after that is the maintenance on call policy, and we need a board vote with regards to this.
Could we, why don't you just go
Go through the whole
we'll
report?
do all the policy
Okay.
things together.
And then
All
the
right.
reasonable accommodation policy is the next page. So I did reach out to Sarah O'Leary. We have a tree out behind Building 5 that has 4 limbs. Me and Bob looked at it. One of the suggestions was, what would our insurance company say? So after much explanation to exactly where the location was, because she needed more information, she basically said, I will tell you unofficially that it probably will be your responsibility if it comes down and hits that house. So, we have $1,000 deductible on our insurance, so it would probably cost, she said it would be in your best interest to remove the whole tree and don't do the limbs. Because of the cost of taking the limbs down
Yeah,
becomes more
Well,
than just
when
taking the
we
tree
could
down.
get a price for both, because
Right.
where that tree is, and in the slope and a
Yep.
ditch, and it might be,
It's a very complicated
and you gotta go on
position.
the other person's property to
Property.
take it down.
place to bring a truck in and a crane to lift it and.
Uh,
I don't know, you
Yeah.
gotta I'm not even sure where the boundary marker is, I looked, but I couldn't find it, so.
Mhm.
We gotta we'll find out all that stuff,
Okay.
where it is, whose property, which is safest and.
So we're in process now of getting,
The assessors?
I mean,
No,
estimates?
We have
Okay.
not done
Okay.
that yet.
And we'll get,
Yeah.
see if we need to get a waiver or liability or something, if something happens
During the
during the
removal.
removal
Yeah.
process, you know?
We reached out to MHQ to get a quote on a truck, 2 times I reached out. Tom Joy gave us last meeting, gave us a recommendation to reach out to Mashpee Housing Authority. He thought they bought one from the Plymouth County Overstock, spoke to the executive director, and she said, we decided to purchase outright from a dealer through the OSD bidders list, and because the Plymouth County was more expensive for a used vehicle than for a
No.
brand new one. They got bottom line, they had to, but they did get a budget exemption to use their subsidy, their reserve funding to buy that truck.
Mhm.
And so, after speaking to the subcommittee, we decided that I will also go down to Robertson's, which I have not done yet, to talk to them about what they have for used and new vehicles to see what we can get, because they are on the state, they're one of the state
Oh, good.
purchases.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So our 10-year lease, I guess the laundry equipment always, it's either 7 or 10 years. I did reach out to Eastern Equipment, they are getting us a quote from the recommendation from the subcommittee meeting, infrastructure subcommittee meeting, so I'm waiting on that, and waiting on CSC to give us a quote, who's the existing one now. So they'll come in, they'll replace all the machines, and we'll have a new 7 or 10 year, whatever the board desires.
If I could comment on that, please.
Yep.
In our last infrastructure committee, we discussed that a little bit.
Yep.
And we also talked about the number of residents that are using the in-home service, that they come and pick up and do their laundry.
Yep, yep.
And that seems to be growing because it's a gratis thing for most of them,
Not all of them, but yeah.
for
Yeah.
a majority of
Yeah.
them, I would say.
Yeah.
So if we could look at what that cost might be as effective to what they're spending there, and then offer that to them and eliminate the machines, I don't know if we wanna spend this money on that, or do you think
No,
that's
we
something?
don't spend any money on this. We split the proceeds with the company.
Oh, yeah, I saw that's 45 or 55.
It's
and-
50
yeah,
to 55, depending on
50,
how
50, right,
long
basically, yeah.
the term is.
Yeah.
So
So-
we get a commission for,
Yeah, we get $300 to $500 a month in the laundry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All
split.
right, all right.
Yeah.
So looking at those two estimates that were put in by, we gotta wait for the other bid from
Right,
Bill's
right.
recommendation
I
first.
did present the whole thing. We are not ever gonna do the card thing. It's just not cost effective
doesn't
for
seem
us.
so, yeah.
It's not cost effective for us, and we don't have
Right.
they don't have the traffic.
Right,
The bigger Brockton Housing, the bigger
Oh, yeah.
housing authorities do. So yeah, we would just go still with coins,
mhm,
which I've spoken to a lot of the residents to reach out to them to say, you know, what do you think? And they're like coins, because that's what they know.
right, yeah, yeah.
Do we have a coin changer?
No, they just know that they need to get coins.
where do they get them?
Bank. They go to monthly when they
Oh,
get their
it's-
cash a
it's
check.
But the same companies that do the laundries will probably give you a coin changer
Is
too.
it US
They-
currency you're talking about, coins?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Quarters,
not a,
quarters.
One or two
Yeah.
feet
not a-
into
No
the-
token, no, none of
No
that.
tokens, no.
it's
No.
regular-
Quarters.
Yeah, maybe, you know what, good question.
I
I
know
will
that,
ask.
I know that they do.
Okay.
What, they'll supply a coin changer?
Yeah, that would be real, that
Oh,
would
that would be good, yeah.
Yeah.
And who fills it, them or us?
I think they service that at the same time they service the rest of their equipment.
Oh, great.
I'm not exactly
You
sure
mean
how
for-
how the mechanics
Yeah.
go.
For dollars or coins?
What?
A quick-
Dollars in, coins out.
Okay, yeah.
Or 5 in and coins out, or whatever.
We
yeah.
do not handle any of the money. They come and they service the machine and they pick up their own.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's really like not a,
So
Yep.
if there's a jam from the dollar thing.
How
then
we
they're
do
gonna
it, it's pretty
come- they're gonna-
amazing.
They're gonna come and bother you?
no, well, they always bother me, but that's okay. But what they do, what we have is they have online capabilities. You just go in very quickly, put in the machine number, it gives all the demographics.
Oh,
This is a problem, and they show up within the next day or that day.
Yeah.
okay.
It's pretty
I was
good.
reading all the information, the
It's pretty
response
good.
time is pretty good.
Yeah,
So
it is.
they'll get their money back. or
Yeah.
fixed.
Yeah, so they'll send them a check for 75 cents or $2. I can't get my money out, and they just write the check and send it off to them. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well, going back to the tree thing, it says see email to Sarah O'Leary. Sarah O'Leary is the
Is our
insurance lady?
insurance lady.
Okay.
Yeah. She,
You know, it says that you attached the email in it, but I didn't find that
Okay.
email in there.
maybe I did not attach
Okay,
the
that's
email,
fine.
I'm sorry.
That's fine,
I will look at, I will send it to you.
okay.
So that's the business on the truck. We'll get like quotes
Quotes and,
and
research.
check lease,
Yeah.
lease purchase or whatever, use, hook up a plow or whatever.
yeah, plow hookup quotes on new or used
Mhm.
vehicles.
Mhm.
So I had a conversation with Mike Casadieri, and I'm sorry I did not put his last name on here. He previous has worked with Father Bill's Mainspring to convert hotels in Weymouth to livable apartments. So he is down here frequently, saw 2 hotels. One would be the Atlantic on the corner, and the other one would be Rosewood on
Rosewood.
Cranberry Highway. to purchase them and convert them to one-bedrooms, and then we would manage them. We, as the Wareham Housing Authority. So we spoke with him on the phone, and he would give us an office over there. We don't know about the particulars, about furniture or any of that, but he would give us the office. We would not have to pay rent. And we would manage the properties, manage the tenants and their vouchers, and not the properties. The properties would be owned and operated by him. So any
I.e.
trouble,
maintenance and all that
Maintenance.
stuff,
Take
okay.
care of
all of
Yeah,
that
that's what I was
stuff.
afraid of
Yeah.
for a minute.
Yeah, no.
So it's strictly administrative services,
Strictly administrative
not,
services,
not management, yeah.
not physical plant management. Yeah, so when he's talking from a layman when it comes to housing. So he was saying, Father Bill's does it this way, they got all vouchers. They petitioned the government, the HCD, and they were awarded vouchers. I think that we could have the same very good response with getting vouchers.
And how many additional
Not
housing,
project-based, mobile vouchers.
For-
how many
for-
additional housing units between the
for
two?
these units?
He estimated, I think he said there's 49 units now, and
Okay.
he would probably 35 to 40, he said he'd have to go in there and make some adjustments.
In
In the hotels,
2 locations or one?
two locations.
Combined 35 to 40 additional units.
Yeah,
Okay.
combined.
Do we know the square footage of each one of those units?
No, but
Okay.
he very confidently went in there, had a tour of both facilities, because he told us it would roughly be $750,000 to $800,000 transformation fee
Cost?
on cost to buy the property, 2.2 million between the two locations, and then another 800,000
To fix them up,
renovations
yeah.
to make them. He has his own construction company. He owns a lot of properties that he rents to housing vouchers, so he's fully aware of the tenants and their needs. And
So he is essentially the landlord and we are the administrative end of it.
Yeah, he's the owner, landlord,
okay.
and, yeah.
Right.
So,
And to what extent will we be compensated?
How they did it in the
Existingly,
past,
what they do, yeah.
you get a fee for each voucher. So if there were 40, it would be roughly, depending on the voucher, because the state pays one fee, the federal government pays another fee.
Okay,
So the fee for the same voucher, for the $50 we get for the MRVP mobile voucher,
yeah,
the Section 8, they get between 80 and 120.
so
okay.
50 state and
80 to
80
120.
to 120.
Right,
So we would be petitioning HUD for the
yes.
federal vouchers.
So I think it would be if we want to go in this direction, it would be a great thing to do.
So it'd be
because then we
$130 monthly,
can- Roughly.
yeah,
100
per unit.
Right. 100
And I was just
$100.
below it.
You don't get to add both of them together, or do you get a
No,
state
no,
and a
no,
federal?
just one.
No, whatever voucher occupies that unit, because it would be
Oh,
open to any voucher. So
You don't get them added. you
No,
get
no,
one
no.
or
it's
the
like-
other.
It's one or the other.
yeah, we
Right, it's
either
like
get
it's either-
50 or 100.
It's like a Section
100.
8 is not a
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Right.
MRVP.
I got
So if you have, I was thinking, I think when I roughly did the numbers, it was like 3,900 a month that we would
On a
take in.
federal, from a federal,
Federal and
Right.
state combo, kind of a combination,
Okay,
you know?
yeah.
3,900 a month.
Because if it was like
So if,
35 units at 100, that's 3,500, and so I brought that
Yeah.
down to about 29.
so if he's got experience with this, if we could ask him to provide you with a draft pro forma agreement that he has with Father Bills or somebody else, that we could use it as a
Comparison to look at for
a guide
judgment.
and negotiate or whatever we can do,
Mhm.
instead of just
Then
him.
after we get the paperwork, maybe we could have him come down to a meeting and
Yeah,
discuss it with us.
instead of
or
him
whatever.
just presenting it, here it is, this is it,
Mhm.
yeah.
Would some of those be Section 8s or?
Yes.
Yes, some of it, yeah.
Probably a majority of, if we can get HUD,
That's what we want.
we would rather have that, that's a bigger pay.
And they'll let you
And we
do that.
can award them if we can
We usually
have
have
that. We used to, it's no long, hasn't been here since previous to this administration. So,
So would we be responsible for vetting the tenants
No,
Yes.
it's
off
okay.
Just like-
off of the existing program?
off of our program.
Okay.
Yeah, just
Okay.
like.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, so this.
And we would, do the same,
We don't have the headache like we do now with turnovers and
Right.
all that shit.
Yeah,
it's somebody else's headache.
Oh, that's somebody else's headache?
Yeah, oh,
He
yeah.
would be in
So
charge.
he actually does the leasing then?
No, we do
We
the leasing
he does the
with
renovating.
with the voucher. That's where it's a little bit different, but we are not responsible for the physical plant of the
We're not
locator.
responsible for turning the physical turnover at the end.
Right, just the
Just
administrative.
the
turnover.
administrative turnover.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
right.
But we're screening the tenants.
Yes.
We are, and doing
Yeah.
paperwork. on it.
Vetting, yeah. But it's better to deal with the DHCD.
That's for sure.
And we do that now.
It's
We
more
do that now
money.
with our mobile
It
vouchers.
was-
We
yeah.
vet
Okay.
them, yeah. We vet them as much as we can
Mhm.
under that, and that's where,
It's less headaches and
Yeah.
more money.
hmm, okay.
All right.
Do we, is that something that's within your bandwidth to do, or are we talking
we would
additional
definitely have to
staff?
take on additional staff if that
Oh, yeah.
happens. That's,
We could take a
right.
part-time
We're-
person,
yeah.
so many days of.
Penny works part-time vetting now and all that
Yes,
stuff.
but she
so-
doesn't vet, she takes care of all of the application process from input to any questions answered. She takes care of all of our files for our tenants and does all the recertification paperwork gathering. I
How many
think
hours is she working now?
She works 18 hours now.
Is something, we could just add additional time for her?
Absolutely,
For her?
yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
That would probably be better for us, so we have less.
And it would, there'd be space for them to work out of those two places, there'd
There'd
be
be
administrative offices.
Offices over there,
Yeah.
so it could be
It doesn't
done
have to be
all
here.
over
Right.
there,
Okay,
yeah,
So she can work more hours, she's,
right.
Yeah.
And it's good to have presence at the location.
and if we end up taking this on, those, say 40 units, will that add to the affordable stock for the town? Is that
Oh, yeah.
help
Oh, yeah.
us
Oh, yeah.
with
The
that?
whole-
Yeah, that's
the
a-
That's
place
a big
would-
thing.
That
It's
would
a
be
benefit.
deeded,
Oh,
yeah.
that would be
So it's
deeded
a-
restricted.
for the town, but not for us.
Yeah, no,
Right.
and like she said, it'd be restricted on the deed when he takes it over.
Yes, yeah, that would,
It would be a
Low-
deed
low
restriction when he
affordable income.
buys it, and he has no trouble with that.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's probably gonna have to go through a variance process with the town.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, I'm sure to convert that, yeah.
Yeah.
It wouldn't seem to me there should be much opposition to it by the,
You would think not, because
No,
we
'cause
want to
right
get rid
now,
of it.
right now, it's being used for homeless through the state.
Not all of
program,
them,
but a lot of it, those.
The
those
very
hotels.
worst one will still remain this hotel thing, and hopefully that will follow suit somewhere.
mhm.
Well, it sounds like, I think this will get done well before Littleton Drive.
Well, if this guy's serious about buying that
Oh,
property.
he'll
And
move it
he's got-
fast,
and
he
he's
doesn't
got-
need all the
And he's
control
got,
that's put
and
in
he's got
the
an
house.
arrangement with us, that's why we wanna meet with him and say, yeah, we'll do it, if it sounds favorable to us. Okay,
Okay, so that's moving along through the auspices of Bob and Jackie, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
On April I said 23rd, it's April 20th, I'm so sorry, the 23rd is,
The Sunday,
It's
Saturday or something.
Saturday.
Saturday.
nobody's
okay.
gonna be here, so, April 20th, which is we did advertise a public hearing, this is for our annual plan. The annual plan, I will email it out tomorrow, because
Okay.
it's a huge document, and I
Yes.
didn't wanna get this and this
Okay.
mixed up, so
So-
I will
Oh, yeah.
certainly,
so it's a public hearing, not so much a meeting.
Yeah, it's a public hearing.
We're having a hearing to,
Anybody's-
What time is it?
well, I
3:30,
mean, I
I
did
think,
put
yeah.
it 3:30, the advertisement,
3:30 when?
On the 20th.
20,
Later on in the packet, I think you
Yeah.
got that.
it would be strictly for this purpose.
yep, 3:30. And it's strictly for that
Okay.
public hearing. Unless you wanna call a meeting, then we can have the meeting after the hearing. That's up to the board's pick. So, you have the annual increase of the maintenance employees, these rates go into effect.
So that's their, annually, by
But-
statute, the maintenance
We do not set them,
employees get a rate established by the State Department of Labor and Industries, and it's whatever it is. And I think you gave it to us in the package.
It is in here somewhere.
I was gonna ask you, if you have
Oh,
off
no.
the top of your head,
Oh my goodness,
what?
I thought it was in there.
I
Yeah,
did too.
it's in there.
I know it's in there, because I looked at it, I guess fine with me.
I think it's okay.
Yeah, so it's right here, I'm sorry. It's after should have been before.
Right after the, Plymouth County,
Yep, thank you.
okay.
This is before the washer and dryer.
Right after
Yeah,
Plymouth
after the
County,
wash and dryers.
with Larry,
Okay. So just for edification,
These
do
are
you
the-
have an idea what it was last year? This is going into effect April 22.
Yeah.
Do you know what it was, April 21?
The supervisor foreman, was 31, 12, I
So it
think,
went up,
30,
it went up
72
like
cents, yeah.
It went up 30/12 or
No.
31/12?
It was 31, 12, it went up to
Okay.
31.89.
It went up
72 cents.
72
72
cents.
cents.
And that's who? That's
Dennis.
one guy,
Dennis,
Mhm.
yeah,
Dennis P.
yeah, and all of the other three are maintenance mechanic ones,
All ones?
yeah.
So three of them. What was that before?
That was a
30,000.
20, no, that was 29, that went up quite a bit, that was 29.89 or 29.92,
Boy, there's much difference between the one and the foreman now, huh? Ooh.
yeah.
29.82, so that went up.
Because
$1,
why we do
$1.20.
that, because each of these designations are a particular set of duties for the state.
Okay,
So in order to alleviate someone saying, that's not my job,
okay,
we just, my understanding was that it was put forth, so then everyone has almost the same exact duties. So if somebody's cleaning this week, somebody's cleaning, another person may clean the next week, and nobody's saying, I can't clean
yep,
because
yep,
I'm a maintenance mechanic, whatever, two, and you're all, I'm one, and only maintenance mechanic two, because if we need that person to come over here and do something, it just alleviates any of that.
sure,
And it gets caught up, we have employees that come from many different backgrounds, mostly 75% of our employees will do whatever you ask them.
mhm,
We've got one that has a background in government work, so he's very particular, so I alleviated that with, this is your duty, everything's included.
So it's like a composite rate.
right,
It
yeah,
covers
I
the
guess.
whole span. It's
Right.
not
Makes sense.
narrow focused. It covers a whole bunch of things.
Okay.
And it even includes all those below it. It's custodian, maintenance, labor, and all that other shit. So that went up.
And now the next one.
All right,
Then the retirement assessment, which is right before it.
Yeah. And that's annual, so it's 30,000 roughly every 6 months,
Correct.
okay?
And we went through a lot with the county and the county treasurer and the county, I don't know, retirement board or something to get this, to demonstrate to us that it was accurate and fair and we weren't being charged for people that weren't workers here.
Attached to
weren't
another
not
retirement
workers,
industry or
and
whatever.
all
yeah.
that other stuff, so they got back to us and said it was last year, and then we paid the amount we were withholding, so now we're current, right?
Okay,
Yes.
We're current.
I remember we caught up last year, yeah. Okay,
The annually agreed upon procedure audit will take place after July. Then the list of the subcommittees,
Yeah, that's
the board so chooses to please, let's
Oh, yeah, so,
reevaluate the positions.
yeah, and we know Donna Bronk is not gonna be here, so if somebody wants to step in on, well, there's two on every other one, except for if she's gone on cash management, budget and finance, somebody can.
that sheet is gonna follow the Housing Authority Human Resource Subcommittee. That's the
Yeah.
page after that one.
So,
When is she through?
when the election takes
It's
place.
May 3rd.
So we need to be looking for
May
another,
3rd or 5th.
No,
why?
Because it
it's not our
is,
responsibility.
it's becomes a tenant board member, and I've reached out to all of our tenants. and
Oh, it's a
there's no-
tenant, okay.
Yes, that's what it is.
It's removed from the election list. And it is now, the board will come and appoint, if somebody so chooses to want to be, the board will make sure that they're 10 good standing, follow the rules as provided. I did put that attachment
Yeah.
that came through an email.
Yeah, I think it's,
Yeah. So,
so anyway, it's a process. The whole thing was flawed 5 years ago when they instituted this, but that was a political thing to have lose one elected member and put in a tenant member, because they thought it would sound good to the governor and everybody, because he was screaming about the corruption in the place. And so this was one of their make-believe solutions. So, you know, there's all kinds of, if you read the current law the way it is, if there's a current member, if there's a tenant member, there's certain things they can do and can't do. Could be in conflict because they're at a meeting voting on washers and dryers. They could put a gun to her head and say, I ain't gonna vote for the washers unless I get a new washer, unless I get a new this, unless I get that. So you get all that kind of crap. I proposed, but it didn't win. I said, add 2 new members, one appointed by the governor, one appointed by the selectman, period. And we go from 5 to 7. 2 would be appointed by the governor, 1 selectman and 4 elected. But they didn't, they said, whose side are you on, boy?
Okay. So it looks, reviewing this, it looks like we really only need 1 vacancy filled, and that'd be on the cash management? Am
Yeah,
I correct?
right.
Okay.
And internal audit and compliance.
Yeah, but there's 2 people there anyway.
Oh, I see.
As
You
long
just
as
need
we-
that-
as
that's
long
why
as
I
we
said,
got
yeah.
2.
If no one else has time, I'd be happy to help out on that one, and unless somebody else would like it. I'm on a couple already, or whatever, so 3 I'm on, so if somebody else wants it, that's fine. If not, I'll be happy to help.
I'm on 2 anyway.
Okay.
Real
Tell what you
Jim, on
want.
4 of them.
okay. Is that okay with you, Bill, that we put Ted on the cash management plan?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I'm not gonna fight him for
We're
it.
doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good managing cash, as we'll see when we get to the next page. Or the next one of the 2 pages.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
Um,
the one done.
Yeah, so, Born Dump, thanks to Bill Lockwood informing us that we can go to the Born Dump. I called them and they will let us do a credit application, which is even better for us. So now we have a place to put our stuff in and, you know, reach out to maintenance to get their opinion on that. And we just have to, one of the suggestions, which of course, they did, was we just have to, you know, be wary of the time schedule, especially in the summer, getting over the bridge. So that's it. So we just decided.
Don't do Mondays and Fridays.
Right, as I told them, well,
And do it midday.
right,
Yeah.
midday during the,
Yeah.
Right.
Do you have an account with them? How do you go in and pay?
no, he had to pay cash. Yeah,
Credit card.
Oh,
correct.
you use a credit card?
Yeah.
So now, do we need a place to, you know, you got units being cleaned out and mattresses and
We-
furniture, do we need a place to?
No,
pile
we
this
already
shit up?
we already had that system in place.
Okay,
So we hide it 2 different locations, both, one at each
okay, so.
Development.
Facility, yep.
and,
So
so that's not
that's
a
good.
problem. It's
Alright.
just being a little bit organized, not being able to just go there first thing in the morning, you know, and be quick and back. It now is gonna be once a month somewhere else, and then, you know, we'll go from there.
Right now, you're going up to Rochester, you know, you're probably only adding 15 minutes to the
Yeah.
trip.
Yeah, and Rochester's,
And look at the money Rochester.
And if you're not there at Rochester at a particular time,
You
it
can
is, you're waiting, so they've gotten that down pat, and I told them it's just
is
a
it higher?
same kind of thing, and,
Is it higher at Rochester, minimum and all that sort of
Yeah.
stuff?
Bourne has a $150 per ton fee, but it's no minimum. So whatever your tonnage is, whatever, half a ton or whatever, that's what you get charged. Over at New Bedford, it's $170 a ton, a minimum of 110. So when you go in there and you weigh and you're a quarter of a ton, you get charged $170.
Oh, so you wanna make sure you load it up when you go there.
Well,
And it's how much there, 170?
well, it doesn't matter in Bourne,
No, I mean.
right, over
here.
there, but we
It's
don't.
170?
Right, yeah,
$20.
we don't have,
Or-
we never have a ton.
Oh, no.
We don't even have a half a ton,
Yeah,
we
so
don't even
that's
have a
what-
quarter of a
So that
ton.
we're saving money because we're underweight and it's less per ton, so that's a good
Right.
thing.
And
It was the same amount, it was 150 a ton over here with no minimum, and now we're just switching places.
Now, does that include, do you have to pay a special fee for things like dehumidifiers?
Yes.
And
Yeah,
Yes,
there's a,
that's standard everywhere. So we're trying to do those. I think the cheapest place is I don't even know if that recycled place in Wareham, you know, at
Oh,
the
the one on the
corner,
Rotary
is
up
that
there?
even still in existence?
Yeah, it is,
okay,
yeah. The
Cause
guy-
that,
he works
we have a
with
metal
them.
guy that comes and takes our metal, so we don't have to do anything for that, which is
Good.
better for us.
Scrap.
Saves us gas, he takes it, off it
He
goes.
takes it as scrap.
And then, so yeah, so mattresses, $60 a piece, and that's a standard number everywhere we looked.
Good.
We do take them apart, we don't have to pay anything. We give the metal to the metal
Oh,
guy,
oh,
if
good.
we have time, to take them all apart and put the, in plastic bags in the toters, and they take them away in the
So
toters.
that's.
All equipment that
cost
can be broken down, all furniture that can be broken down, we put it in those toters first.
saving. So that's cost.
Before we even go
that's
to the
cost-
dump.
That's a cost savings. Okay.
Yep, so that's it for the administrative report.
So,
we need a motion to accept the administrator's report.
motion by Bill to accept the administrator's report,
Yeah.
seconded by
I'll second it.
Jane. Any more discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
So carried. Infrastructure.
Okay, so the very first thing on the infrastructure is, we have the.
Oh, wait a minute,
Yeah.
where does this come under?
Oh, I'm so sorry, accounts receivable,
I see
so.
On the administrator's
I'm
report, you
sorry.
got this here?
Yep.
Accounts receivable.
Actually, hold
Yep.
on.
Yeah, excellent, yeah.
He's got it.
Yeah.
Motion to disapprove.
Yeah, so, we just, well, let me just review that. So-
Okay.
So the state
Yeah.
had two very big funds that were funded. One was the RAFT program, rental assistance. And then the other one was called Shera funds, and which I don't remember what SHERA stands for, but it does stand for something. And so it took care of all of our outstanding balances that we had. We have very little, I think it was $191 of outstanding balances, and that's because people that pay the incorrect rents, because they change yearly and inevitably once a month, because of the way we change, recertify everyone, someone pays the last month's rent. So the 191 is basically a combination of 5 people that didn't pay the correct rent. So,
You're saying 191.
well, it isn't 191, it's
20,
20,
yeah.
that includes that $22
Okay, so-
from that particular people.
So
They're
this
gonna-
is good that we finally, because since for years, it's always been thousands of dollars.
Right, that's perfect, I put a great big excellent on that.
I'm very happy to.
My
So
comment,
basically, it's just a.
my comment on this is then, we gotta try to not let it get up there. If
No,
people- if people
absolutely.
owe a month's rent,
Right.
they get
Right?
a letter to eviction.
Yeah,
They get a phone call from me first,
Yeah, we'll go-
saying, I'm
we'll
gonna come over and pick up your outstanding rent.
yeah,
Yeah,
Why haven't you paid it? Where are you?
so
And-
the engine blew up in my car and I gotta pay that
So
first.
It's
You
gonna be
get
there.
every excuse from the dog ate my homework.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
that's all, we gotta be diligent and go through
Yeah.
the steps and not let it get to the point, because I was eavesdropping on a conversation today, listening to the lawyer talking to somebody else, he was saying it's easier to get an eviction, a divorce, than it is to get a friggin'
Eviction,
rent,
eviction, yeah.
evict the tenant.
Yep. So they threw millions of taxpayer dollars into these funds.
Excuse me on
I'm
it, did I
sorry.
say something on TV? Excuse me.
It is the truth. That is the truth.
I know.
The amount of steps we have to take, so it's best to get it at the front door, so to speak. It's been, but we're glad we're beyond that.
All right, good, all right, so now we're in infrastructure.
So the handicap door, this particular program, we do have the change order ready. It came through, it was in your packet. behind the subcommittee meetings, and this is what it looks like. So during, this is the change order for the requests that were given at the handicap door meeting.
Yep.
The FRG finally came back with their number. There was a little haggling, and the number was settled at $5,026.05 for the change order. And we need a board vote for that, because that will increase the budget to that particular,
For that page. This is it?
that's
here?
it right there.
Okay. All right, so,
So the letter right after that, under ARCAT, is
Yep,
dated
that's-
January 27th, that gives a request for the proposal change.
Yes,
yeah, so do you wanna vote on this first one?
right, so that was the meeting that that was attended by the board chair and you. This is the request that were made from you folks, the letter.
Oh, okay.
ARCAT sent it to the
So these go-
contractor,
these
and
go
the
together.
contractor, and then they figured out the numbers, and then the
Alright.
contractor agreed to it.
So these
Okay,
go
so,
together.
oh, that's
All
the
of
same-
these 3 pages go together.
Same
with-
change order, yeah.
Yeah, same change order.
Bill, you could probably answer this for us on that Von Duprin 9899 series exterior exit rim device, that what I'm assuming is the panic bar?
Commonly known as, yes.
Okay. $1,700.
Yep. Oh, this is an electric one too, isn't it?
The panel,
Panel?
oh, that is the door opener. Is
Right.
that was, yeah, that's what it is.
That's on
yeah.
item 1 on the change order.
It's electric, so
Yeah,
it's
that's why we-
more
yeah, we-
expensive than the
Than the
manually
Oh, so
operated.
they hit a,
It's got a panel.
yes, like going into
The
the.
reason we're doing it is so that because we don't have hinge clearance, I think.
They had 2, we could have chosen the wireless or the wired in, and
No,
this is.
but I mean, we're doing the automatic door
Yeah,
because we don't
Because
have
we don't have
room,
clearance.
room
Yeah,
for
yeah,
the wheelchair to get clear of the door in order to open.
Ah, I get you.
yeah.
Okay.
So,
All right, and now we're just doing that one right now, we're not, are we,
What was all?
the
all of
next thing on item 2,
Yes,
I'm a little bit taken back by the powder coating cost, the paint for $800 for that railing. I don't know, my knee-jerk question here would be, how much longer will the paint last at $800? It's a very limited space, what, 20 feet, 30 feet, maybe, that railing that's going in over there? And they're gonna paint it, if they paint it with a high-grade enamel, black paint, that's gonna last us some time if they
we
put a
can
couple
paint it
coats on.
ourselves.
okay, so you want to
Yeah,
move?
probably half the life of a powder coat.
Then we could paint it ourselves.
Yeah, and then-
Scratch
Ooh,
that
the
or
800,
something.
well, it's, yeah,
Yeah,
it's-
so
we don't have,
you wanna take the 800 out of that?
I think
Just
it's a bit
think
rich, I don't know about you, I mean, I'm gonna look to you for guidance for that, is it worth the $800 to go powder coat? It's the item 2 on,
Versus painting it, we'd spend that painting it.
yeah,
we would?
yeah,
We've got, even if we did it in-house,
That's what I'm talking about, in now, yeah.
we got.
But it's gonna come painted, this is the,
No, this
If
is
you
in
want
lieu, this
extra-
is in lieu of paint.
oh, I thought it was.
no, it says the
It-
price
This is
for
an
this
extra
job,
protect-
the price for this job is $750. Removal of road railing, adjustment the size, shop prime, and regular paint and black and
Right,
reinstall.
so that
If you
would
want
be-
an extra
Right, so that's,
protection.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
so
Right.
that's what I'm saying, the 50
So it's gonna be painted.
includes the 800, so we could take the 800 out of it
I think it would be,
if you want.
I mean, Bill, again, I'm looking at you because I'm not certain of the longevity of that powder coat, if it really is financially worth it.
No, we could go with just go with it, take it right out of the change.
We
order.
can eliminate the powder coat if you want, they've included it, if they wanna sell it to us.
It's in the $1,550.
Yeah, so that would be $750, and the total price would be then $4226.05, 800 less.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Are you good with that?
I'm fine with that.
okay, so let's do that.
Gene, you okay with that
I'm
too?
fine with it.
So let's strike that powder coat of $800, and then that'll make that $750 instead,
4226.
and then it'll be $4226 on the bottom.
And we'll split that with the guy from
What'd you
Market.
say, 45, 36?
The bottom price would now be 4226.05,
Okay.
the total price down.
Oh, down here,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
Good suggestion, all right.
okay.
Okay, so now,
So now,
make a motion to,
on
on
that particular one, now we need to make a motion with the removal of that,
the amended
correct.
price of
We probably could do it in one, right?
142.26, yeah. Yeah, because we'll just strike it out of the, I don't
Motion
see
to
it.
approve as amended.
I mean, Bill,
Motion to approve as amended.
as amended, yeah. If
I'll
it-
second that
At
one.
42.2605,
And the markup should drop to, I should think.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
yeah.
we will let that, we'll just approve the
Yeah.
change order with that removed and then give them the price back.
to
And
revise.
they'll revise, because they gotta revise more than one
Right,
number.
because their markup is gonna be adjusted
The
like those,
markup is
right?
probably,
Yeah.
the markup is probably more on the all
Right.
right, so that's gonna save us 800 plus. All right, thank you.
Okay,
So motion made by Bill to approve the
second, then.
thing as amended minus the $800 color code and the related markup.
Mhm.
Seconded by Ted. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. Okay, so now,
The other issue with the current,
the second one
okay,
is
yeah, hold on, let me just,
40.
hold on. The community room exterior upgrades, there's two things that we have to do.
Here.
Right, so we did meet with Sean, I think, and Sean, and they are gonna give you the cost for the elevated ramp, whether or not they can do it, whether or not it'll be, how they are going to have to do any of the other fill in a different area, so it's not as deep, just a ramp made out of natural, it needs siding, so I think we did talk about this,
Let me
right?
just back up. It was
Yeah.
after the meeting was over, Bill and I went out and we looked it over and we talked to Bill was thinking that you could have the ramp go further going down that way and coming back here.
You do some flat, you just do some sidewalk back up that direction. We could go down to the east as opposed to the west.
Yeah,
And,
and it would save on the elevation and
yeah,
everything,
we could,
you know?
Well, no, because you still have to do the elevation for the
Yeah,
ramp.
but it's,
no, you don't.
this is higher down there, it's the highest.
If you're, because you go in that direction, you're chasing grade. If you go-
Okay, okay.
Going this direction,
They-
you're going into the
Okay.
grade.
Yeah, yeah, so
But
that's.
the land's coming up to meet you, so you don't have to, the differential is less.
Yeah.
Okay,
So we
I'll
could-
pass that on.
I'm surprised those guys, geniuses didn't figure that out. These
They
architects.
said this is their quote, "It defeats the purpose of making it easier. They have to walk all, because then they have to actually go around the steps for the sidewalk, make the sidewalk meet all the way up to the ramp,
Well,
so."
the other thing you do is you put a step at that end. So
Well, no, absolutely. So you step up, step down, and then the ramp, yeah, but the
No,
person that
you-
how will we get them up to the ramp over here? So,
Sidewalk.
right, so that's what they said, it would defeat, I mean, it would make, you'd have to extend the
Any-
sidewalk,
So anybody that needs the
the
ramp
ramp.
Yeah,
can use that.
yeah.
Anybody that doesn't need the ramp, can use a step right over here.
Right, yeah, so
Okay.
it works
Okay.
both ways. Sounds good to me.
We will proceed forward with that comment to them.
Yeah,
What?
We will proceed forward with them, that comment.
we just.
That will
Same.
increase the
We're
cost
talking
of,
taxpayers' money and we're
Yeah.
talking less,
it's actually more money.
less, what should I say, less,
Well,
But the
no,
800 we saved here, we're now gonna use over here,
No, we
so.
don't.
well, you're not, but you can also save the money on the railings.
If we put that walkway up here, he said we would still, because of the, up towards this part, we would need a railing on that one side. So that's what the architect said right away, so I will tell him, maybe you don't need the railings for the grade.
tell 'em,
No railings, which,
Well, you
I
try,
wonder
you
if-
try for no railing.
I
yeah.
wonder if you should have it, just.
Just
Well,
move on.
We could just get a price and see what it is, and then we can decide right there. We're just
In
getting
the dark.
getting information.
These people that put them up here.
okay.
Is that this, that's this, no, this is.
Yeah, so
This is
also,
40.
I wrote a letter to the two leaders of the construction portion of DHCD, for the construction, the CIP, the people who are in charge of construction of the buildings in the portfolio of the housing authorities. Because this particular FRG contractor, this is not how they work, how the contractors work. Our windows are still dirty from cleaning them with dirty rags. They've now put, they came in, they did finish the painting on the window trims. They still have to put in the new doors. We haven't received a change order for that either. They haven't done anything with the ramp, even though we've asked them previous to this, so the ramp thing will get changed again. But it's a combination of everything, especially the language barrier. It's a real tough thing to be able to tell somebody, please stop cleaning the window with a dirty rag. And we have to, yes, and we have to verify their income, like verify their payroll, part of the procurement process. So when you go out to ask them what their job hourly rate is, they did not know. They didn't even understand. They're like, oh, I get it in my paycheck. Whatever it is, it is.
But isn't the company supposed to slack?
They are supposed to give us certified
Get it
payrolls.
from asking these people.
We are required to ask them during the job.
Okay.
They put up the siding, they put it up upside down on this side of the building. They have now since corrected it. They left trash out. They've now since corrected that. When they put up the siding on the back wall, the window cracked in the bathroom. And that has not been
We
corrected
gotta
yet.
fix that, yeah.
So the architect has told them and written to them. So I was concerned, these are things that take time out of my day to run around and be like, where are they? They've given us so much, this is the schedule, they don't follow the schedule. And when they come at 8 o'clock in the morning, they work till 6, so someone has to be with them here till 6 o'clock, and it's generally me. And finally, the last time I was like, look, you guys have to be out of here by 4:30, 5 o'clock. That's my drop dead time.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh, yeah. Very disorganized how they did this project. Usually, when a company comes in that we've bid out and procured, they come in, they do the job, they leave. They clean up every day after themselves. There's still stuff, still garbage, that needs to be taken
Oh,
care
yeah,
of.
out back here's still a
They,
mess?
no, they did take that big pile. But it's not in the usual way of other procured contractors.
I mean, generally was unacceptable,
Yes.
the way they started out, did the doors backwards and everything, but they must have had a different cleaner to do those windows, because those look okay.
Those are fine.
These are terrible.
These are terrible.
But anyway.
And yes, our community room, we had to clean ourselves. Normally, none of this would have happened. They come in, they clean up after them, and they leave. But it would be like, they would tell me they're coming back the next day, and they wouldn't show up for a week. We're like an afterthought. And not that, we just need to get the job on so we can close it out and move on to other projects that are time consuming.
Didn't, when we were looking at it, we knew they were charging less than the others,
Yes.
so we got what we paid for.
No, but,
Well,
there was comments made at when we were,
Right.
I wasn't happy with it at
We were
the first,
accepting
you and I
it.
were on the same page
we
there.
accepted it under protest,
Yeah.
Right.
because there was other criticisms of these people, but DHCD kind of like
Oh,
said,
Take
here
them,
it is.
take them.
Here it is. So now here it is, and now
Right.
somebody else won't get them, I guess.
No, they will not. I was told from the DHCD, that let's take it from where it comes, that they will not, after they're done with the jobs, they will not be eligible to bid on any more jobs. They're not an organized company in order to do this.
It's DHCD skates away.
Yep. So, the phase one window replacement, we did hear from La Rochelle. They informed us that it would take 30 weeks, but this was 3 weeks ago to get the windows in. Now we have 27 weeks to wait.
That's on number 3.
317042. Yeah,
Yeah.
So we got 27 weeks to go.
27 weeks. Well, they said it was 28 weeks for the order and then 2 weeks
27
something
as a full 6.
for them to deliver
So
them.
27.
And these were Henderson windows or something, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
No,
27 weeks.
it's a half a year.
So it's
6
20
months.
26
So
months
that
left.
means 4 and 6, that means in October 6th, before Columbus Day, we hope that.
Yeah.
6th.
So we also requested from DHCD an increase in our budget for the 317046 sewer line replacement. There are 3 lines. I'm sorry. I will number them from now on.
It
This
must
is
be
a great
there.
idea.
Where
So-
are we?
Infrastructure report, the fourth item down now, Bill,
Yeah.
looks like this.
There it is.
So the letter
Oh, this,
basically to Bill Miller asking for more money. They are considering it because of the state of our sewer lines at Redwood. So we are hoping to receive the full funding, and move on.
Now, you made the final comment in that bullet is we have funding to do the initial problems. We are not gonna start anything until we find out about this, is that correct? Doesn't make sense to me to start and stop and redo it.
Right, we have, yes, we're trying to get that settled first.
Okay, so if we find out that they're not gonna fund us,
Then
then
we just
we'll do
have,
the temporary stuff. and
well, it's
get
not
that.
temporary, it is
yeah,
replacement
the
of the,
short
But not the,
yeah,
I
not
said
the
temporary,
whole,
meaning not a complete job.
not a
short
complete
term,
job.
correct.
No.
Correct.
So that's on 046.
Yeah, well, 46, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what we're saying, we would prefer the difference of
complete job.
350 is to do the whole thing while they're here.
Right, instead of digging it up
In
and
the long
all.
run, it'll save money,
Sure.
and hopefully they'll agree with that,
Yeah.
since we're doing such a good job here, they ought to appreciate it. With
They do recognize,
With their eyes and ears.
they do recognize that we, every time DHCD comes to our campus, they are complimentary on how it looks compared to the other sites in the portfolio.
Mhm.
And one of the major things is, I told them, is we go to the dump. We take if our resident, we pass the cost on to them, because if it's their mattress, why should we pick up the $60?
Oh, you're talking about debris.
But
from the
debris,
units.
but even the interior units, how we turn them over, from A to Z, from the basements being clean,
No,
to-
yeah, we do a more comprehensive replacement, we don't do just patchwork and temporary paint slop, but they do a good job.
Mhm.
When it's vacant, they do. Some of these units have been occupied for years and they're a real mess.
so,
Okay.
the sustainability 317047 of the floodplain for Redwood has been added, so.
And you've got another note in there towards
Yeah.
the end of the packet or something that they've included that now,
Yep, they have included it, and they will.
which
move
makes
forward.
sense, I mean.
Yeah,
the-
no, I told them, I'm like, more than Agawam, one, we already know
Yeah,
this one.
Mhm.
And also, okay, so with the CPC underfloor plumbing, we've started the job again because of the supply chain. They weren't able to get all of the supplies to do the underfloor plumbing, so they have to wait until they come in. They said they would give us a schedule. I gave them all the contact information. He will give me a schedule of his plan so we can inform the tenants.
okay, good. So
Then,
that part's going okay with Sabri Brothers, whatever?
Yep,
Okay,
yep.
good,
perfectly fine.
thank you.
Then during the, for the 650,000 new units program, I did reach out to JC Engineering. There is no wetlands delineation on the plans because there is no wetlands delineation over there.
There's no wetlands to delineate.
Yes.
Okay, good, that's
Yeah.
good news.
So that was good news. And that's where we stand. We did ask him to, I'm sorry, let me see if I wrote it. So his plans, wetland, there are no wetlands, but we did speak to him about adding to their scope.
Yeah, I think I saw that.
It wasn't. And so he was going to check, we wanted a little bit more intensive cost analysis for that area, specifically clearing the trees,
Site prep,
site prep.
yeah, site prep cost analysis.
And so he was going back, and I did not put that on that, so site prep.
Who was that?
JC Engineering,
JC Engineering's
Yeah.
giving you an estimate on that?
yeah. He said he was checking with JC, John, yeah, and he would get back to us.
But didn't we already get an estimate from Paul Sullivan?
We did.
Yeah.
That was for the buildings, that did not include, that was just stick built against,
No, it was site, it included
site prep?
Site prep, yes.
Okay,
Site clearing, yeah.
Who was Paul Sullivan?
that was the,
That's
An estimator.
at both, wherever, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was about a fifty,
Okay.
it was about a
all right, so we
$50,000,
don't need to
Get
do
that
that,
taken
we'll
care
take,
of,
right,
What
right,
was that, Bill?
about a $50,000 difference is everything.
yeah. Okay, and that concludes
So-
the
So
infrastructure
you
report?
pull that back out, you can do that.
Am I missing anything?
These are minutes from the human resources
Yeah,
stuff, that's
yeah.
all, that's all. All right, so that covered those two items. Okay, so, that's that. Okay, this is an agenda, right?
Yeah, that was on it. Oh, I'm sorry, I included the letter that we wrote to the sewer commissioners
Yeah, so.
to see if we could seek some sort of payment, you know, it is very expensive, and we don't have the usage of 5-bedroom, 4-bedroom, 3-bedroom homes do. And so we were looking for
An exemption.
an
on-
exemption
On,
on,
on exemption on the fees, fines, penalties, and interest. And then we further went on and said, we'd like an exemption on the 2 extra units, because we're being charged not 104 EDUs, we're being charged 106 for the,
There's 2 community
for
buildings.
the community buildings.
Mhm.
And now we'll add to it the fact that we got 3 years of
Vacancy.
vacancy.
Unoccupied
So
units.
we can add that to him, so we'll contact Guy and see what he can set up a meeting with him to see how it stands.
And I think for the sake of simplicity, what Bill had mentioned, if we can come up with a percentage number instead of a number of unit vacancy
Oh, yeah.
overall,
yep,
then we won't have to chase those vacancies. In other words, they're gonna bill us 92% of whatever that is on an annual basis.
Yeah, so,
To cover vacancies.
so should I,
Yeah.
should I go back 3 years to get a yearly average?
yeah,
I
I'd
would
like to go
think
back 5.
Go
Or
back
5,
five?
yeah, that's
Okay.
even better.
You know,
Yeah.
and it's gonna
In
say
time-wise,
that we have, instead of 104 units, we have 102.7.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that'd
Okay.
be great, that'd be great. And it's not, it's documented, it's not like a single-family home, when you say, I go on vacation 10 weeks a year or 2 weeks, go to Florida, they charge you for the one rate, right?
Yeah, and I know that they've had this discussion with the laundromats in terms of, they're getting 1 EDU per machine, and that's why
Wow,
we
Per
have,
machine?
One EDU.
yeah, jeez Louise,
and we do have machines here, so.
yeah.
Yeah, but the machines here are because they're not
Not
in their
because they're not
units.
there.
Right,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, it's the same.
there's
There could
only
be-
2
there could be
wash
104
machines.
washing machines in
There's
there.
4 wash machines for 104
It was- it was
units.
more
How they
Yeah.
stand it.
Back 60 years
If
ago.
we
it
could
was
say
more
they're all
cost-
using the same bathtub as well, then